Something this morning I hadn't done all week. I'm gonna throw a jerk bait and try to catch some of these quality spotted bass down here on some of these points. Hopefully there's a little bit more open water out here. I'll get me a bite or two this morning. If not, I'm gonna go do what I've been doing all week. I'm gonna go throw a Stanley spinner bait and a Stanley jig.
Well, there's a man with a plan that could possibly be worth $100,000, but 4 other professional bass anglers will have some say in that matter.
Just get the wind to blow 1 hour in the middle of the day, I can catch a pretty good string of fish, I think. Catching them mostly on the spinner bait. But you got to have the wind. Doesn't have to blow hard, but you need a little wind to break this calm surface up.
Well, 300 anglers set out in this tournament earlier in the week. 150 of those were co-anglers. Ron Ott of Indiana won that championship yesterday. Today, 5 pros are left, and they seek the ultimate prize, the $100,000 prize on a lake that has presented all sorts of problems this week, most of them weather and temperature related. But today, they've got that little bit of wind that they've been looking for, and today they're confident, they're ready, and they all think they can catch some fish. Well, there they go, and here we go with its 3rd stop of the year on the Walmart FLW Tour. I'm Tommy Sanders and Jerry McKinnis. It's all underway now. It's a big day in North Georgia.
Kind of quiet around here now, but this is where it all happens.
Well, this is where it's going to happen today.
Half a dozen hours, and you and Charlie Evans will be up here weighing fish. Man.
This is the big top. It's kind of cold in here now, but we'll have plenty of body heat when these 5 anglers get back in here.
Who are your 5 anglers?
5 anglers. This is a really interesting day. Not like any we've ever had on the Walmart FLW Tour. It's a busy lake, a very clear water lake, so a lot of individual quirks only known to the locals, and this is the best local tournament we ever had in terms of people who live and fish on this lake. We have 3 of them in the final 5. Tom Mann Jr., Mickey Bruce, and another fellow named Johnny Lassane. We're going to add into the mix an older veteran who sort of hung in there and figured this thing out this week. Jimmy Nolan from Bull Shoals, Arkansas.
Good morning. Yeah, this is going to be a fine day.
A young hot shot with all the confidence in the world, Johnny McCombs from Alabama.
3/8-ounce Arky jig, Zoom fluke, and a War Eagle spinnerbait. I just missed a spot about 2 pounds. I'm gonna catch him on a jig in a minute. I hope.
And, you know, we always say, boy, we got a great 5 guys for you. Anybody that can survive 150 anglers and get down to this day, their story and how they got here has got to be interesting.
That's right.
Yeah, we've got some dandies.
And it will be told today, the story of the entire day, so stay with us.
Right here, this is where it's going to happen.
Man, we're going to be getting them all pumped up. It won't take much. They'll be ready to go when these guys are. We're not wasting any time today. It's right out to Tom Mann Jr.
And Tom thinks the big old spotted bass lives on that rocky point. And get a good look at this cast right here. Very seldom are you going to see a shot without a boat dock in it today.
If they stay like this all day, I'm going to hurt their feelings. I can't catch them early, though. Can't catch them early. There he is. Good one. That's a big one. Big old spotted bass. I want up in Mr. Green trout. This is a bonus right here, folks. Big old spot. Big old spot, big old fat 4-pound spotted bass. I won't hurt their feelings today if this wind stays up. That's what Lake Lanier gets you right there. We call them magnums here. Magnum spotted bass. That's about that's close to a 4, 3 3/4. Give me a limit just like that.
Let's hope I don't find one of them big old long fish with stripes on his side. Chase him around out here a while.
If that's any indication right there, it's gonna be a fun day.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Everstar. It all starts here. By Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Coca-Cola, always Coca-Cola. And by Walmart, always the lowest price, always. Lake Lanier, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia, covers 38,000 acres, has 600 miles of shoreline. We will see many, many of its private boat docks today. That seems to be the pattern of choice for our anglers, as it has been really all week long. The water here is extremely clear, and nothing seems to offer more cover and shade for a bass, and that's what they seek in the very place you tie your boat up.
Now then, finding the right dock. Boy, that can be the trick. And fishing it correctly is another story, and we'll start that story with Jimmy Nolan.
My lure selection is going to be spinnerbait, jig and pig, and maybe a bush hog. And I put on a small baby bush hog.
Boy, this weather really have man and fish confused. Jimmy should be in a T-shirt, not a snowmobile suit.
The fish have been staging on some of these shallow docks. They've been staging right up under the foam. Early this morning, they ought to be moving around a little bit where you don't have to really catch them right up under the foam. You catch them next to the dock, next to the structure.
Yesterday, the fish kind of went shallow on me after I've been catching them on these deeper banks. I just switched to catching them up on these walkways and things yesterday.
Johnny Lessane from Blue Ridge, Georgia. Johnny says his strengths are crankbait fishing and pitching those little jigs up under the docks, Jerry.
And I think he just hooked a cameraman right now.
Yeah, that's his third specialty right there. He's back in action now.
I don't know if that was a fish. I think it was.
Well, Tommy, sure enough, it was a fish, wasn't it?
There was a fish there, the first fish of the day for Johnny Lessane, who's been fishing pro bass for about 5 years now.
Hey, and you want to look at the banks around these boat docks. When they're clay banks, like this one obviously is, you can count on largemouth being there. Watch, when you catch a spotted bass, it'll generally be rocky.
And he hit me right on the boat here. There's a trolling motor. I thought it was a fish to start with over there, and I wasn't sure. Then I throw it back in there.
Nice boat right there.
It looks like your boat.
Yeah, oh, yeah, exactly like my boat. But the one past it is a little bit nicer looking. That's the Ranger that Johnny McCombs is fishing out of. Johnny from Morris, Alabama, the youngest guy in the field here.
Boy, he's trying to touch every bit of cover and every bit of shade that it possibly can, too.
Well, what surprises me is how close they get to those docks. They don't feel the need to stay away. That doesn't scare the fish. I guess the fish feel protected.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the fish are doing up there in the first place. They're in that shade underneath the styrofoam pads. Johnny has started his day off pretty well, too, I believe.
Good first fish.
A very good first fish. And a great deal of the time, the fish will just be right underneath the foam or right underneath the boat dock. Those docks don't connect to the bottom. They're just floating up and down, up and down. So most of the time, all they're providing is shade and brush. There will be brush underneath these docks. Now, some guys like Mickey Bruce and Tom Mann, Tommy, they ought to know this a little bit better. Maybe that's where their edge is. They know where all those brush piles.
All the brush piles, all the old Christmas trees and everything that's sunk out there. Johnny McCombs, we say the youngster in the crowd here, the ripe old age of 26, but he's been professionally fishing for more than 4 years now, so he knows what he's doing.
There's our buddy Jimmy Nolan.
Yeah.
Now, he could be fishing in a brush pile because he's not right actually under the dock.
It's like he's got no fish.
Uh-oh.
Stay in the boat, Jimmy.
That's a bad sign.
Yeah, that is not good.
Man leans over boat, bad
Not
sign.
good.
Come on, Jimmy, tell us about it.
Boy, that was a good one. I don't know how you can lose them on a jig. I really don't. Felt him pick it up, I eased up into him, and he went. I don't know if you have to wait till they move off with it or what's going on. Whew, that was about a 6-pounder right there. They've been biting funny the last 2 days, yesterday and today. You know, I just hadn't missed any fish. All of a sudden, I'm missing them. Had rod position perfect, everything I thought was perfect. Had the slack taken out. I'm just going to have to wait till they move with it, I guess. I don't know what else to do.
Final day action here on the Walmart FLW Tour stop at Lake Lanier here in Georgia.
And Jimmy Nolan has found a shoulder to cry on at this
I
time.
just lost one right here, about 6 pounds. I just lost one here, about 6 pounds. Yeah. Just before you walk down that hill. That's going to haunt me, too. Unless I catch 5-pounders, then I'll be feeling a little better.
There it is. Big one. No, pretty good one. Pretty good one.
Tom Mann Jr. of Buford, Georgia. Tom said he was setting out today to catch all spotted bass, and so we assume that's what he's got on the end of that line there, Jerry.
Hey, you know what? I think 50%, even maybe a higher population of fish, are spotted bass in this lake. And
some say as many as 80%.
That's right.
Get in here.
And they are humdingers. Most of the time when you catch spots, they're from 10 to maybe 14 inches. These fish are from 2 pounds to 4 pounds.
2 1/4, 2 1/2.
And they're beautiful fish, too. They're
Oh, yeah, big and fat.
right. And to me, they're kind of like a smallmouth. They're just such
been a while, hasn't it?
beautiful species of bass.
Believe me, that's another bonus fish. It's only 9 o'clock. That's a bonus. I hadn't had a bite before 10 o'clock. I've got 2 fish that weigh about 6 pounds.
Tom Mann Jr., and you heard him say it, that fish is a bonus fish because he caught him a little bit earlier than he's been catching his spotted bass this week. Let's go over now to another one of the locals, one of the guys that fishes on the lake here and says he doesn't have to fish for bass. He can just go out and fish for anything that's biting.
There's something about not being able to see the most of the time of what you're after that really lights a fire in me and gets my curiosity up. Trying to trick these little green critters is something else. In the mid-70s, when I got out of the service, 1973, a friend of mine named Mickey Whibby introduced me to worm fishing and actually competitive fishing in these little small pot tournaments and got me hooked on bass fishing. From there, I went to a bass club. I was afraid to even apply for the membership because this bass club had such a name that you got one blackball out of the voters that you didn't get in. And finally, I got enough guts to go through what you had to go through, 3 meetings, 3 tournaments, and got voted in. And fished in a bass club, no boat, for about 3 years. And then I started entering some tournaments, no boat. Was successful at it. One thing led to another, to the local lakes to the southeast, to Super Bass 2, which I finally won and enabled me financially to pursue my career.
Back over to Johnny McCombs, young guy, 26 years old. And you talk to this guy, Jerry, and you can see he wants very badly to be a pro bass angler. That is all he wants, and he's not ambivalent about it at all. He really wants it.
And you know what? I think it's interesting. We'll try to talk more today about how these guys practice and prepare. Johnny said he likes to fish just 2 or 3 days, not get burned out. Sometimes he gets a map of the lake. Sometimes he doesn't. He got a map of this lake, Tommy, and never even opened it.
Well, there is a race on for Angler of the Year. We call it the Land O'Lakes Angler of the Year prize. The person who catches the most fish over the qualifying days of all the tournaments here. So far, our leader, David Walker from Cannon, Kentucky, with the most points in pounds. Back to Johnny Lassane here, and maybe the second fish of the day for Johnny.
One more word on Angler of the Year. What a tough honor. First of all, you got to get on the Wheaties box. But to accomplish that in the qualifying days is, boy, that's some tough fishing.
Take some good fishing.
You better believe it. I don't think this fish is going to weigh right here, but boy, we had a dandy caught a little bit earlier.
Yeah, the leader in the race for the biggest bass of the year. Coca-Cola awards 10 grand to that winner is definitely Jim Moyna of Carver, Minnesota. Came in with a whopper on Wednesday.
I've never won big bass in any major tournament, so to catch one like this is just a treat. You know, I was talking to my wife last night, and she said, Jim, it's going to be your lucky day tomorrow. I asked her, well, how come? Why is it my lucky day? She says, well, think about it. What day is it tomorrow? Okay, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm like, yeah, luck of the Irish. Something's got to happen tomorrow. It looks like it's doing pretty good here. It's doing real good, so it'll be nice to see it. You know, somebody might catch it, you know, again sometime.
Saw a bumper sticker the other day. It really hit home. It said, it works for people who don't know how to fish. But believe me, this is work.
Mickey Bruce is a big favorite here today, but he better pick it up if he wants to uphold his local reputation.
December the 3rd, 1983, the fourth and final day of Super Bass 2. I was in 8th place, and this was my first stop the last morning. And the third cast I made, I caught one approximately 8.5 pounds. I went on to weigh in about 16 pounds that day and started my fishing career right here. I couldn't spend the last day of another $100,000 event without at least making a cast or two here. There he is. Ain't much to him though, I don't think. Maybe there's more than what I think. Maybe there is. Maybe.
Mickey Bruce, who really didn't get started bass fishing till he was an adult, 25, 26 years old. Like most of us, he says he fished in the springtime when everybody likes to fish, and then quit for baseball in the summer. And then later on, he discovered that the bass didn't go anywhere during the summer. You can catch them then, too. You could even catch them at night, and that's what did it for him.
And you know what? Mickey is slow rolling a spinnerbait, and we've talked about this a little bit from tournament to tournament, but that just means that he's fishing that spinnerbait very close to the bottom, probably pretty deep, probably in 12, 14, 15 foot deep.
That's a start.
Moving it very slowly, just barely turning those blades and feeling it as it bumps in them brush piles. He's fishing brush piles, and you have to have a good feel for what's going on down there.
The old $100,000 hole, how about that? I fished it every day this week, the first bite I've got. That'll tell you something about wind in this lake. Simply amazing.
Jimmy Nolan, Bull Shoals, Arkansas, old pal of yours, Jerry.
Absolutely.
You're in the Final Five. We're all happy to see that. And
I have to admit, I'm pulling for Jimmy.
All right, it's a little bit after 11, and Jimmy, by this time yesterday you had a couple of fish, but you said yesterday you were also ahead of schedule, so you're not too bad off your timetable yet, are you?
No, but I'm next to being panicked already.
What happened was I've already lost one about 6 pounds.
Oh, no.
Had another one just a while ago, about 2.5, 3 pounds. I lost it.
How are you losing this shit?
Well, they're not hitting the bait right. I had my first fish on a jig and pig, and he hit it, and I waited a second on him, but he just didn't grab the jig right or something. And even my spinnerbait, they're not hitting my spinnerbait right either. They're knocking it to the side. I've had a trailer hook on it, and they're still not getting hooked with a trailer hook. So I've taken the trailer hook off, and I've shortened the skirt real bad. They're real tight under these foam docks, and you can't hardly get them to come out of the foam a lot. They just do it every now and then.
Are you fishing a spinnerbait right now or a jig?
I'm fishing spinnerbait right now.
Go ahead and make a cast or two and kind of talk us through exactly what you're doing.
Well, what I'm trying to do is parallel the foam as close as I can come. Keeping that spinnerbait just barely under the foam. So I'm running along the line. And just when you come to a certain foam, you just don't know which one it is. Could be the center one, the outside one. And one will come out there and just smack you. But today, I'm just not connected up and getting the fish in. I'm fishing smooth, and I'm fishing right, but I'm not hooking and getting the fish in the boat.
So you're just,
Constantly moving the spinnerbait. You're not killing the bait and letting it fall at all?
Yeah, well, if I let it fall, I won't have to let it fall far because I'm only fishing a foot of water.
Uh-huh.
So I've danced it up and down, did all that stuff, but the best thing to do is just bring it through there and then fluff the skirt a little bit. But we're back in these spawning areas.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing is just staging under those docks until the water gets warm enough where they go on bed.
Is this where you found the fish all 3 days of this tournament, or have they moved on you some?
This is one of the spots.
One of the spots.
I've had to fish different parts of the creek every day.
Different parts of the creek. And you say that's kind of what's kept you in this thing, being on the ball enough to see where they were moving from day to day.
I started off in the main part of the creek, worked mid-range, now I'm in the back of the creek.
Well, that's different. Jimmy, keep after it, and as we say, you're not too far behind, and maybe we'll see you with some good things happening there at weigh-in time.
If we just get some good bites, we'll be there.
All right, we look for you there, Jimmy Nolan.
And you know, the fish are of the size that a guy can catch up in a hurry.
Oh, yeah, a couple, 3 bites, he's right there.
And nobody's just wiping them out, so a guy like Jimmy, he's all right.
When he talks about a fish that can't get a hold of his bait like that, I mean, what does that mean? They're not really striking to eat? They're not doing that suck-in maneuver there? Or they're just trying to slap at it with their head?
I imagine they're probably doing a little slapping at it, but I think it's just, you know, you hit a little stretch like Johnny McCombs said earlier, had his confidence. Probably every fish that hits his bait, he catches them.
Yeah.
And Jimmy is next to panicking, like he said.
Yeah.
And now the fish that hit his, he's losing them. So I think it's, believe it or not, absolutely. And it's more the fisherman's attitude than it actually is the fish.
I think it's time everyone on the lake took notice, because here comes Mickey Bruce. He's got another fish on here, and this could be the start of something big.
And Mickey talking again about practice indicated how important it was to find fish and to not be a target fisherman, but a pattern fisherman, which means that you figure out why you catch fish in certain places and duplicate that, and not just luck up and catch one at a time.
A spotted bass is invading my holes. Well, we've got a little of the skunk now. Let's see if we can do a little bit better.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Wrangler. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans. By Citgo, you know me. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Timex, takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Johnny McComb not only fishing boat docks, but fishing wrecks. This is the party barge that's not having much of a party anymore.
There's my boat. No. We saw yours earlier. There's my boat.
Well, I'm very sorry about that.
I bet somebody's sorry about it.
Oh, man, that's not a good deal there.
But, boy, does this offer a good spot for some fishing. Johnny has proven me right there.
Oh, yeah, he's got, Oh, no. No. Oh, my gosh. Hit the side of the boat and gone and looked like a keeper, too, huh, Jerry?
Read his thoughts.
That might not be a good idea right now. Tough break for Johnny. You know, this might be a good spot to change gears and quickly tell you about the non-boater who almost missed out on this event, then almost won that division.
I'm from Pinckneyville, Illinois. It's a little bitty town in southern Illinois. I always tell everybody it's a lot like Mayberry. It's quiet and clean. I've started fishing the Everstart Series last year. I fished all the Everstart Series in the Central Division, and I'm fishing them again this year. I'm 36 on the waiting list for the FLW. I entered them all, and I didn't get in. We run up our phone bill just calling and see if they made it to me, and they didn't. I was 2 guys out.
Monday, he said Monday night we weren't going to go.
No. The tournament was filled up. Everybody, all the spots were taken. There were no open spots. So I wasn't going to make that 9-hour drive to find out there still wasn't any spots.
Right, because it was a matter, they told him on the phone, it was a matter of somebody not showing up.
But our kids wanted to go bad. They hounded me to death. I said, pack your stuff, we're out of here. I went to registration and let them know I was there. They have a list with all the waiting people, and so I was there with probably 15 other guys on the waiting list. Everybody else was from around here. They said one boater, one non-boater, that's all. And that was me. And I was in. Oh, it's been an unbelievable time.
This week has just been a whirlwind.
Interviews and TV, anybody in fishing is here.
I mean, because it's not even a matter of really winning. You know, it's just like to see him go across the stage, and weigh.
Right. If I don't catch
weigh some fish.
I'm sorry for Susan. I'm not disappointed. I have a great day. I don't have to catch a fish. I'm not here for the money. I don't need any of that. I'm here today to catch fish for my kids. Make memories. That's what we're doing today. I think if I smiled anymore, my face was going to break in half.
Nice finish and a lot of nice memories for Bud Goki. They're 5th place in the co-angler division. Now today, of course, 5th place is last place. Let's take a look at our scoreboard on championship day, and there's your leader, Johnny McCombs, tied actually with Tom Mann Jr., 2 fish, 6 pounds. Now, somewhere out there's a youngster about to tell you he wants to be a professional bass fisherman. So what do you tell him?
I'd like to see my kids become involved in the sport. They're very good fishermen. I have 2 boys, 6 and 9. I got a little girl due any day this week. I think she's due today, matter of fact. My little boys, they're just fishing fanatics, but I'm not going to push it, I never have. I always started them out catching small fish, not taking them bass fishing. I want to let them grow into it.
I would love my kids to enter the profession, my girls and my son. I think it's a great life. I think it's something that people have dreams, and I think you ought to follow your dreams.
I've got a boy, Nick. He's 16. The sport has really, right now, taken off and really growing to maybe a yes, I would like him to be in it. If he had to go through the same road that I went through, I'm not sure I'd want him to do it. It was too hard to work, and it was a lot of down times, a lot of good times too. You got to take the good with the bad. Probably want him to try to give it a try if he wanted to.
If I had kids, I would want them to get into this because my dad got me into this, hunting and fishing when I was just a kid. It kept me away from drugs, alcohol, whatever. Fishing's great to be a professional.
I have 2 children, Stacy and John. John, I think he wants to be a professional fisherman. I believe it. I can see it in his eyes. The more he goes, the more he wants to go. And I'm going to do everything in my power to make it possible for him to do that. I sure am.
Hey, have you seen Johnny McCombs' father since you've been down here?
I did meet his dad. What a good guy.
Oh, yeah, and he is such a big part of this story. Johnny gives him all the credit.
He really is Johnny's publicist. Of course,
absolutely.
We were talking about how young people, young adults get started in the sport of professional bass fishing. Johnny McCombs' story is an interesting one, too, and worth a look.
I started fishing Jerry Ryan Fisherman's Bass Circuit, which is not a popular trail in the country. A lot of the big name guys got in there and started out, like David Fritz. I think Mickey Bruce started in there too, and I did too. Started through the Everstart, and I really thought I could go out there on that and blow them away too, but I ended up 7th for the year on it. And then I went to Murray and I ended up coming in 39th, and that gave me a little bit more confidence, so I guess I'm back.
This week's Walmart FLW Tour stop is on Lake Lanier near Atlanta. Lots of folks in this area and lots of spectators. I think Mickey Bruce has the most.
That's the one I'm
Hey, Mickey likes to go to these tournaments a day early to get one day of golf in.
Yeah, that's how you get your mind off things. Don't get burned out. He's not thinking about golf now, though. He's wanting to land this fish.
My gosh, and he is still, oh, that's a pretty good bass right there. He's still slow rolling that spinnerbait down there in a little bit of depth, probably 10 or 12 feet of water, so he is fishing for that fish right there.
Oh, he needs that one. He's only got
could,
2 small ones so far, and this will turn it around for him.
This will change your scoreboard quite a little bit, I believe.
What? Fish wearing it? No, wait a minute. What is that?
Evidently, the life vest fell in the water, and the cameraman got it and kept right on going. Then he never missed a lick.
That wasn't a spot either. How about that? Just nipping at that bait. Oh, Lord, thank you, Lord. What a beautiful fish. I've caught one every day that size. Whew. I believe I'm gonna have to sit down here like Alan did and pan a while when I get this one in there. Six. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
I think we got Tom Mann Jr. on the phone, and Tom, you were telling us you said a little prayer for some wind today. Prayers answered, huh?
Yeah, I got plenty of wind.
I've got 3, Tommy. I caught a real nice spot early this morning. I really got 3. I caught my first fish about this time of the day. I'm guessing it's around 11. I don't know. But
a great deal of your fish have been spotted bass, haven't they?
all of my fish are spotted bass. I haven't weighed in a largemouth.
And why would that be? Explain that. Are you just fishing where they live, or are you actually fishing for them?
I'm fishing for spotted bass, and you know.
Basically fishing kind of spotted bass waters. There's plenty of largemouth down here, but techniques and areas I'm fishing lend itself more toward the spotted bass. And this time of year, I'm actually targeting pre-spawn spots, so they weigh a little more and they're heavier. And if you get the right bites, I mean, you can compete with the largemouth. That's what I got to do.
You made the comment this morning, I have to make the fish bite. Explain exactly what you mean by that.
Okay, I don't know if you can see this.
This post right here coming up on the corner of this dock.
Yes, we can.
That's absolutely the premier place. That's exactly where you want to put this little tube. I'm fishing a little prototype bait from Seducer Bait Company, a little tube that they're going to come out with. I'm putting it right in that. You can see the shade on the corner of that post right there. And what's happening is when I throw this tube in there, as you can see, I'm just more or less letting it lay and just shaking it. Now what's happening, these fish are laying right under that styrofoam, about 6 inches under there. But that water might be 10, 15, 20 feet deep. And what's happening, I'm watching these fish half the time. When I throw it in there, they sink down. I see them sink. So I have to make sure that that tube falls vertical, straight down. I mean, I can't, get it out of the zone. And then I just sit here like this and just shake.
Towards you at all?
No, not at all. And I just sit there and shake it like I'm doing here, and I just dance it on the bottom. Now, I'm not trying to make the lure come to me. I'm trying to make the lure stay out there and just entice them into biting it. And, it works a lot of times. I mean, a lot of times I'll feel the spotted bass come up on the end of this thing and just tap on it and tick on it and tap on it and not get it. And I'll sit there and I'll shake and I'll shake, and all of a sudden, he'll get it and swim off.
Man who's having the toughest day so far, Jimmy Nolan from Bull Shoals, Arkansas. And how bad is that to happen to a nice guy? He's the nicest guy you could ever meet.
You know what, Tommy? He is too nice.
Yeah, he may be. He may not be.
And he's finally put a fish in the boat here, but no kidding. He will get out on these tournaments. This is no stuff now. And will be so nice to his non-boater that he will pay no attention to his own fishing, and it really hampers him.
Well, that legendary story from Sam Rayburn where he spent all day, a day he was winning a tournament, teaching the locals how to fish a big hole out there.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And this gentleman has probably fished in more bass fishing tournaments than anyone on earth, especially big tournaments.
1 year, he fished 45 tournaments out of 52 weeks in the year. That's unbelievable.
Boy, that is incredible. Has been fishing on the BASS circuit for 27 years. and he has finally cracked our top 5. And you know what? I hope he makes a habit
that one
of
was
it.
on the bank.
Just kept working it.
Yeah, I mean, I chased him off the bank a while ago, and I threw it at the back of that. Well, I put it on the foam, and he wasn't there, so I put it on the back of that dock, and he took the worm off a while ago. Now we got something we could work with. I feel a little better. I took a limit of 16 inches to start off with anytime.
Back to Tom Mann Jr., who is still working those boat docks over.
I caught one here the first day, about 2 pounds. Here's a fish.
Tom needs another fish. He's fallen behind Mickey Bruce. We saw Mickey catch that big one just moments ago.
Yeah, and I'm not real sure that it's fair to fish in your backyard, Tommy. He is absolutely fishing in his backyard right now. I think that he lives right here close by, and boy, he ought to know where these little spotted bass are. He's sure working the spotted bass over, I'm telling you.
Oh, there we go. Mr. Spotted Bass. About 2 1/4 maybe. Pretty handy right now since we ain't had a bite in about an hour. What's that, Harry? Doing good. I got me a little 2-pounder off your dock. I got 3 that'll weigh about 7 pounds. Yeah. That's my neighbor up here. I live on this street. Making your dock famous.
So you think it's easy pitching up under these docks, huh?
Remodeling time.
Way to get it in there.
Who said it was easy? You got to squat down and line it up, and then only hope you can hit a very small, low to the water hole. Having your problems, Johnny McCombs, getting under those low boat docks, but one cast was perfect and was good enough to make the Fujifilm flashback. Way to go, Johnny McCombs. You're the man today.
Get up, Tom Mann Jr. Get up, Tom Mann Jr. Get up, Tom Mann. Chomp, chomp.
Walmart FLW Tour stop on Lake Lanier here in Georgia, and the local favorite, Mickey Bruce, has taken the lead. 5 fish, 12 pounds. He's got a limit, but right behind him with 4 fish apiece, Johnny McCombs and Tom Mann Jr. All they need is one big kicker to take over the lead.
You need to get back in here. I ain't had a bite since you left. No, I did catch one.
That's right. We got one from the other boat.
Here's one right here.
All right, he's got that fish hooked. Did you hear that conversation he was having with the camera guy there?
That was the Fuji flashback. The cameraman got over in the boat. He hadn't had a strike since the cameraman left the boat and immediately caught a fish. Tommy, you know what I'd do, don't you?
Yeah, I'd start making sure the cameraman is in the boat.
I'd tie him to the steering wheel back there.
Well, talk about tying now. And Tom Mann, if he can land this fish and it'll measure.
Another good spot.
That will tie him for 5 fish limit with Mickey Bruce. So this is an important fish here.
And look at the rocks on the bank in the background.
2 1/2 pounder, 2 1/4 maybe. Big old fat female.
There he is. Had to get rid of that little old bitty one, I think. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you. That might have did it, my friend. How pretty are you, and how did you get all tangled up? That's a prime example of not leaving fish where you know where they're at. They'll go try to find one. That bit me a while ago over there.
Well, that was the fish he was looking for. Mickey Bruce, he culled with that one. He's got a great limit coming in. We haven't checked in with Johnny McCombs, but everyone is headed in now. It's almost time for the weigh-in here at Lake Lanier on the Walmart FLW Tour.
And you know, I hate to say this, but I don't think Lake Lanier really showed us its best stuff. But the weather kind of played a factor there. But by gosh, we're going to have a good weigh-in.
And in anticipation of the weigh-in, the Family Fun Zone outside our tent here in Gainesville, already full of folks, especially a lot of youngsters who are having a great, great Saturday. It's going to get a whole lot better. We'll be back with the weigh-in after this.
Hey, Harper, you got one!
Okay, we're in the second round, and in order to take the lead, Mickey Bruce has gone back to the boat for the last of his full limit. Boy, this is a kicker fish here, and he's probably wiped everybody else out.
Wow. Wow. 3 fish. 3 fish that weigh in at 12 pounds, 2 ounces. 12
All right. Wonderful. What a limit. Mickey, have a seat. Still got some more fish to weigh in here. Your new leader, man, in a big weight, 15 pounds, 13 ounces. Goes back around to Johnny Lessane, and Johnny, he's going to take a big order here. 10 pounds, 10 ounces. 10-10 is what we need to see from Johnny Lessane. That's it? Oh, my gosh. Well, big hand. One of the boys from Blue Ridge, Georgia, right here, Johnny Lessane. Johnny, what a great week. You hung in there. Only 3 fish every one of these 4 days, and but still solid enough to get all the way to the final 5. It's got to be a wonderful feeling.
Yeah, it is, Tommy. I'll be back. I just really appreciate everybody coming out and supporting us and all these great sponsors we have. And like I said yesterday, you know, that big lake gets rough out there, and I give that Ranger boat and that Evinrude motor a lot of abuse. So I'd like to thank everybody, and just like this Timex watch, they take a licking and keep on ticking.
All right. Well, 2 of our anglers are out of it. 3 of them are still in it. Our leader now, still with 15 pounds, 13 ounces, is Mickey Bruce and Tom Mann Jr. 9 pounds, well, actually 10 pounds is what it's going to take. 10 pounds to take over the lead for Tom Mann Jr.
He's weighed in 3. He has 2 left for his limit.
There's 1.
There's 1. We need a big fish coming out of there, Tom. We need a real big one. And 2 good solid fish. 2 fish. They weigh 6 pounds, 4 ounces.
6 pounds, 4 ounces. A big hand for our man from Beaufort, Georgia here. Let's hear it. One of your home folks here, and Tom, I tell you what, a lot of lessons you've learned from this lake over the years, Lake Lanier. Do you think it's still the greatest, and are you proudest to have done so well here?
Well, you know, I still say it's probably the best spotted bass fishery in the world, you know, day in and day out. The fish, we're in kind of a bad mood. I told you all week long this, you know, everybody, I mean, you see the way in, how they've been, you know, somebody catch 17 pounds one day and they'll catch 5 pounds the next day, you know, fishing the same water. They're kind of in a bad mood, but this is a great fishery, and I think you've probably seen we've got some awful nice folks that live around the lake here this week, and, you know, I hope I'm up here a few more times.
Well, I hope you are, too. Another big hand for Tom Mann Jr. Tom? All righty.
Down to 2.
Down to 2, Charlie. Mickey Bruce, a 5-fish limit, 15 pounds, 13 ounces, is our leader. Johnny McCombs.
Weighed in 4 so far.
Weighed in 4 fish so far. We need to see that last fish. And as we always do at this point, we take a deep breath and we watch these messages. Stay with us.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Everready. Another bright idea from Everready. By Evinrude Outboards and Electrics, the world's most refined engines. By Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. And by Land O'Lakes, supporting family traditions.
Mickey Bruce, a limit of 5 fish, 15 pounds, 13 ounces. Just behind him, Johnny McCombs, Morris, Alabama. 5 pounds, 12 ounces behind. He needs 5 pounds, 13 ounces. Mickey, you're through weighing fish. You'd probably like to get a good look at what's going on up here. Let's bring him up here. Johnny, let's see what you got there. Johnny McCombs, he's weighed in 4 fish already, can only have 1 fish left. This is it. It's got to be 5 pounds, 13 ounces to win this thing in the 100,000. Oh, no fish. Here's your champion right here, Mickey Bruce. Mickey Bruce. Here, let's hear it. Come on, he did it so well. Did it as well as you could do it. Yeah. Mickey, who's this now? Tell us who this is.
This is my #1 sponsor right here. This is my wife, Susie.
Okay, Susan, thank you for coming up here. Mickey, what a week. You're the favorite coming in, or at least one of the favorites coming in here. It's great to have all the advantages of having known this lake, fished this lake all your life, but there's some disadvantages to that as well. All the pressure that's put on you and all the places you know how to fish. That can be a distraction at times, right?
It certainly can, but I've always felt that pressure comes within, and if it's up to the individual, you know. They quit breaking your arms and legs a long time ago. It's illegal to do that, so it's unbelievable. It hadn't soaked in yet and probably won't for another week or so, but I am tickled to death. I've got a lot of people to thank, especially half the people you see in here I know, and it really makes me feel good. It sure does. Thank you, everybody.
All right, another big hand for Mickey Bruce. Mickey, stick around. We got some good stuff to give you. Johnny? Can't be too unsatisfied with your career during the past calendar year. 2 runner-ups on the EverStart Series. You make it to fish the Walmart FLW Tour, and here you are at 3rd place out here on the 3rd event of the year. That's got to be an awfully good feeling.
Yeah, it feels good. You know, there's still 2 or 3 tournaments left. Hopefully in Arkansas I can do okay. You know, I got a little confidence going now, so maybe things will look good.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Part of Go Network, go.com.